Now, today we'll discuss the topic, the characteristics of community. Community is a group of people, and community, we can say, is a concrete concept. As we studied earlier, that society is an abstract concept, that is, society, because it is formed of social relationships, cannot be seen, cannot be felt by one's limbs, does not have a concrete form. Vice versa, community is something which is concrete in nature. It has been bound by well demarcated boundaries, and it is something which can be seen and which has a form. For example, India is a community and it has a well-defined map which can be demarcated in the world's map. Similarly, various other communities are a group of people, so they can be seen, they have a form, and they have well-demarcated boundaries. So in this way, community is concrete in nature. The other characteristic comes as that the people living in community have a strong bond, or we can say they have a community sentiment. The people who live in a particular community have a we feeling in them. For example, two persons who are born and brought up in India, if they meet at some place abroad, then they definitely will have a feeling of belongingness towards them or towards each other, because they belong to the similar place. So this is what community sentiment is. A person who comes from a particular community has a we feeling, a feeling of unity, or a feeling of belongingness towards this or that particular community. Other characteristic which is very important is that community is non-transitory. It is a place which is permanent in nature. Just as you can see that there was a time when our ancestors existed in the form of nomads. They used to move from one place to another in search of food and shelter. But at present time, people are settled, and they are settled at particular and specifically defined places or communities. They live there, they have their earning there, and they lead a peaceful life in those communities. So we can say that it's a permanent structure. Then the other characteristic is that community has a spontaneous origin, or it has a natural origin. It's something which has not been planned and created, but people, they collected at one place, they start living at that one place, and because of being living in that place for a long time, they started sharing the customs, traditions, and the various ways of life. So it was being called as a community. Then, as we discussed in the definition of MacIver, that community is a group, and group is formed for achieving a particular end. But community is a small or a large group where the persons have not gathered for achieving this or that particular interest, but they have wider interests or wider ends to achieve throughout their life. Then the next characteristic, which also has a prime importance, is that community has a particular name. As we discussed that India is a community and it has a name India. Delhi is a community and its name is Delhi. Manipur, Mizoram, Assam, from Jammu and Kashmir to Kanyakumari, there are so many states and they all are communities. Similarly, each village has a name, each district, each city has a name and which is peculiar to it. So each community has its name and the people who live in that particular community are known by the name of their communities, such as people living in the community of Punjab are known as Punjabis. People who come from Andhra Pradesh are known as Andhra, and so on. Or people who live in India are known as Indians. So in the same way, this particular name somewhere has an importance in the life of a person and sometimes also decides the personality of a person. We often say that this person is Punjabi and because of being Punjabi, he has such nature. So this is the importance of the name of a community. And last but not the least, we can say that community does not have a legal status, nor it can sue anyone, and neither a person can sue a community. Community does not have that entity, is not that entity which can be sued or which has been, or the law of the country has given the rights to any person to sue the community. So this is all on this topic.